All right. Um, Real quick, this is just a part of my studying process. I'm getting ready to take a test. Getting ready to take a cybersecurity test. The SYO 701. Going to be taking that test soon, and I'm trying to, be prepared as much as possible because I have to pass this test. The first time. So, all my life I've had a hard time retaining and remembering things. And I've heard, more than once that teaching helps remember and retain things, So I'm going to try to teach some of this information, that I've learned. So I'm going to just go over some of these exam objectives, some of the points. I might skip around. I'm probably going to skip around. I'm just going to only teach the ones that I'm extremely confident on, that I know for sure is the right information about. So yeah, first one, domain one, general security concepts. 1.1, compare and contrast various types of security controls, categories, technical. So that would be like a firewall, or maybe I don't know about a vulnerability scanner. But just technical is basically just like, like I think an antivirus also, that's technical, just stuff that's like not physical, like stuff that's basically like digital, that operates on technology. Um, then we have managerial, which had, if I'm not mistaken, that has to do with policies, like making policies and procedures and stuff like that. Maybe SOPs, standard operating procedures. Then physical, operational. I'm gonna skip that one. Physical is basically like locks on door, locked doors, cameras. Well, cameras might be also operational, but I think that's physical also. Like bullards would be physical. I think access control vestibule, that should be physical. Security guards I think is operational. Weirdly, even though it's like that should obviously be physical. But yeah, so that's those categories. Then the control types, preventive, preventive. That's basic. I know what it is. It's just I've never tried to explain it to somebody. Preventive, basically, it's just like security controls that are made to prevent access. Like it's hard for me to think of like some examples that I'm extremely confident on. Trying to think of at least one for preventive, like a lock on the door. That's the best thing I can think of as of right now. I know what it is, just it's hard for me to think of like examples. Let's move on to the next one. Deterrent should be like security cameras, lights. Signs with warnings. I know for sure that's deterrent. Then detective is like once again cameras, security cameras, and lights. I think lights. Detective. Corrective. I'm not gonna even try that one because some of these points are just like, you know, it don't make entire sense sometimes. Like one of them, like sometimes one of them should be a different one. Like I said, the security guards, like if I'm not mistaken, that is operational, but that obviously should be physical because a human being is something that's physical. That's a physical control. You know what I'm saying? That's a physical security. Like that's physical. Like physical. You know what I'm saying? Like physical. It doesn't make any sense sometimes, but whatever. Moving on. Compensating. That's another one. But if I'm not mistaken, that one is where like it's something that makes up. It makes up for something partially, in order like to make up for something that's lacking, within the security control or something like that. And then directive, that also I think is tied to managerial, where it like has to do with policies and stuff. But moving on, 1.2, summarize fundamental security concepts. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. I'm gonna skip that one because it's a little complicated to try to explain. Non-repudiation, that one's pretty easy. It's pretty much just for like, it's like a digital signature, for example. It's like it's basically like to show that like the person that sent something can't deny that they are the ones that sent it. That's non-repudiation. Authentication, authorization, and accounting. AAA, authenticating people, authenticating systems, authorization models. That one makes me think of like the something you are, something you know, something you have, but that's in a different. I think it's in a different objective. So I don't really know. We'll just skip that one for now. Zero trust. That one is um, zero trust specifically is very simple, which basically means always like never trust, always verify. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's pretty much what that one is. You know, like for example, like how it's one way that's implemented is you can only have access if you're authenticated and authorized. Like you got to pass both of those, authorization and authentication, before you can have access. It's a part of zero trust. But that one sentence summarizes it very well. You know what I'm saying? Never trust, always verify. You know. Already went over physical security. Hold on, let me go a little bit. Okay, yeah. So access control vestibule, that's physical security. Fencing, like fences, is also physical security. It's easy, but I mean, I guess it's worth mentioning. I guess it's like extremely like easy. Or rather mention the harder things. Yeah. Let's go to something harder. Like this stuff is like, getting easier. So let's go to like the harder stuff, which is a part of 1 point, which is basically like the cryptography, the keys, asymmetric and stuff like that. Okay, so 1.4, explain the importance of using appropriate cryptographic solutions, and we're not talking about cryptocurrency. So we got public key infrastructure, PKI. I already know those things very well. It's basically not until we get to, I think, encryption. Yeah, encryption, and then to asymmetric. That's when it gets confusing. So basically, see if I have this down. Okay, so asymmetric is basically, I know it's the two key pair, private and public key. Symmetric is a shared key. Yeah, but asymmetric is two different keys, private and public. So the way it works is like, if I want to send somebody like a message, for example, I encrypt it with my was it my public or theirs? I think mine's my public key. I encrypt it with that, and then I send it to them. They have to decrypt it with my private key, sender's private key. I think that's what it was. I'm gonna have to review that information again, but I think that's what it was, man. Because I keep having to review this over and over again. It's irritating. I'm not confident enough on that. Hold on. Okay. No, so it's their public key. Okay, my bad. So I encrypted with their public key, and yeah, I encrypted with their public key if I want to send in a message. So it's the recipient's public key, and then they decrypt it with also their private key. So yeah, and then when digital signature is involved, it's freaking backwards, so it makes it even more confusing. So the digital signature, when that's involved, and I want to put a digital signature on the message, I encrypt it with it should be my private key. I encrypt it with that, and then when it goes to them and they and they decrypt it with my public key. I think that's what it is. Yeah, there you go. I had that right. Yeah, so they decrypt it with my public key, and then yeah, and by encrypted with my private key. I encrypted with my private key. I encrypted with my private key for digital signature, for just asymmetric. It's their keys. For asymmetric, I send it, and its recipients encrypted with their public. They decrypt it. They decrypt it with their private key for asymmetric. And then the last one, and of course there has to be yet another one, making a symmetric key out, using asymmetric keys is basically I combine my private and public, my private with their public, and then it makes it the symmetric key, and then vice versa, and it also goes the other way around. My public key with their private key makes symmetric key. That one's actually the easiest of all of them. Like, even if I don't know it exactly, it's still, if I got asked a question on that in a test, that one there's no way I should get that one wrong, because that one's the easiest out of all of them. So yeah. That's pretty much it for now. So I might do one more video with some other points, some other objectives. But that's it for now. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pray for me and root for me, man, that I pass this test, because I have to pass this test. You know what I'm saying? I have to pass this test. Like there is no ifs, ands, and buts. You know what I'm saying? I have to pass this the first time. You know what I'm saying? I had to pass it the first time. You know what I'm saying? The test cost $400 freaking dollars. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, it's undamn affordable. I'm not paying for it though. The first time it's a freebie. I'm taking it through a company, a sponsorship. So I gotta pass it, because if I don't pass it, they not paying, for me to retake it. So, and I don't got no freaking $400 or $300. Because they say they'll give a discount if I, don't pass it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't got no $300 to pay the freaking test. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I gotta freaking pass this the first time. Thank you for watching.